What's up, guys? It's Ryan.
And Neil.
And today I want to talk
Happy
about something.
Tuesday.
I'm listening to this amazing book called The Compounding Effect. And it really is it's amazing how simple life really is if you break things
We make
down
it harder than it needs to be.
into tiny little bite-sized morsels. The compounding effect, basically, with regards to, we'll say, getting a house and getting approved for a mortgage, many people look at the whole process and they think, I can't do that.
I'm getting there.
I have anxiety. I can't deal with that. I don't know where to start.
How am I saving that money, right?
Right. If you just break it down to small little bits.
Daily.
I used to have this expression, nickels in a jar, nickels in a jar. You just keep putting nickels in a jar. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of effort. It's just a small little change. That little bit of change implemented over a long period of time creates a permanent habit. That permanent habit can pay huge dividends, and it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's saving. It doesn't matter if it's exercising, if it's eating, if it's, whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to learn a different language. Just learn a little bit, just do a little bit daily, and then you have this awesome end result before you even know it. And the idea was, people all the time when they're trying to buy a house, they know they have to save money, but they're afraid, or they think, I don't have the money, or I can't put $100 or $1,000 a month.
I don't
aside.
make enough. Well, guess what? You're not going to miss $5, $10, $15 a week. Is not going to change your life because you spend it on, I'm going to use this dirty word, shit. And we all do it. We all do it. I do it. Ryan, well, maybe not Ryan. The rest of us do it.
But the point is, guys, if that's something that gets in your way, and in the book they talk about it, people trying to, run a half marathon or something, he's like, don't go out there and try to run a mile. Go run around the block. Go around the block, start doing something, but do it 3 or 4 days a week. And for me, I always say, when it comes to starting to save money, you figure out some amount of money. If you buy smokes, if you drink, or you go to Starbucks, whatever your vice is, figure out what that is and say, okay, how do I deal with, let's say, putting $10 a week aside? Just $10 a week, okay? Because like Neil said earlier, you do that and you don't even realize it's gone. And that's the facts. You won't realize it's gone if you make it a simple little habit and say, okay, where can I actually cut back? If you have too many subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, where can you take an extra one of those, $10, $15 a month, and put that aside first? As you go through time, these nickels in a jar, which I hope you always remember that now, the nickels in a jar, they start to add up. And then you have this compounding effect that makes it even better. How many people buy a house because they started with the first, budget, and then they started putting that monthly money away? Guys, you have to realize this. Anybody who has some great, thing in life, they didn't just get it overnight. They had to put this time in. You don't see that journey. Look at the...
all you see is what they have and go, oh, you're lucky. Well, most people aren't lucky. They worked for it.
Do you think that people in the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, do you think they just one day woke up and they were a great athlete? No, they might have been a good athlete, but they had to work.
Michael Jordan is an old story. Was the first one in the court and the last one to leave. He'd be there at 7 in the morning practicing. Yep. Do you know how many people in the basketball world that the kids start out with the basketball every day? They have a basketball in their hand. They'll go to school with a basketball. This is not easy. It's like anything else. They worked at it.
It's funny, they talk in the book about Larry Bird, and they said Larry Bird, who was a basketball player, he used to shoot 500 free throws before he went to school. And that's why he had one of the best free throw percentages, because he put in the work. So for you, if you're trying to save up to buy a house, it's not real complicated, guys. Figure out what you have to do first with your budget and your finances. How do I start putting a little bit of extra money away?
Cut out one little thing. Start out one little thing to cut out. Maybe 1 or 2 Starbucks a week. That's $5. That might be $10.
Little's relative to you. If you have an extra $1,000 a month at the end of the month, you could put that aside. But start with $100 a week. Start with $250 a week. Start with whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. If you only have $10 a week, fine. Start with $10. Because what happens is you're not going to get excited about that first nickel. Neil, how excited are you about our 401k after just the first year?
Oh my God, I'm real excited. It's like, do you know how many people say, like, they'll tell me, I have a second job, and I'll say, well, if you haven't had it for 2 years, I can't use it. But you can take all that income and bury it because you lived without it, so now that you have it, bury that income.
Right. But the whole idea, again, is start now. Start small. Start simple.
Can't start yesterday. You can start today.
And the same thing goes with credit, because you have income, savings, and credit, or income, assets, and credit. Credit. Get your first credit card. If anybody tells you credit cards are bad, stop listening to that person,
because they don't know what they're
about
talking
anything
about.
else. They know nothing about what they're talking about. Go get your first credit card and pay it weekly. Start small. Just like you're making weekly contributions to your savings account, pay your credit cards weekly, just like your debit card, who's automatically going to take it out the next day. Pay your credit cards weekly and watch the cash back. Just slide over here a little bit. Start with your first credit card or two, making it cash back. Then your second credit card, cash back. Why do you want multiple credit cards?
Not only that, your scores are going to go up.
Exactly. By getting multiple credit cards, you're building what's called account diversification and account depth. The depth is the age of the credit card. If your first couple credit cards are no annual fee cashback credit cards, there's no reason to close them. Just keep
don't ever
using them.
close a credit card.
Right. Again, start small. Get that first card, use it, and pay it off at the end of every week. Everybody talks about you got to pay your statement in full. Guess what? That's cool, but that's really nerve-wracking for a lot of people. If you pay your balance off at the end of the week, you're never going to see a big balance that's going to give you that anxiety. You're not going to have it because you've taken necessary daily steps that are going to help prevent that anxiety from ever coming to fruition. Cool. That was awesome. Sorry, guys. We had to go off on that.
Yeah,
one
we went
because-
off on a tangent. I apologize.
But that's start
But
small.
This
Call
is
us.
the best tangent to be on. Savings, and it pertains to everything you do. Start small, like Ryan said. Everything. If you're going on a diet, anything, you want to run a marathon. Start small. Start daily. Start hourly. Whatever.
That's all you got to do, guys. Any questions, let us know. If you like this, share it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Love it. Whatever you can do, let us know how we can help you. We'll see you guys in the next video.
See you later.